parents and viewers. Welcome to Common Core and Gifted Learning. This is Neha. Today, I will be discussing about a very sensitive topic about body shaming. Um, in the stereotypical world of Kens and Barbies, where we grew up listening to rhymes like, chubby cheeks, dimple chin, and rosy lips, where, the definition of beauty is totally distorted. And if you don't fit into that mold, you are basically not beautiful and hence should be discriminated. And this kind of ideas I used to feel that is only limited to like teenage years or probably adolescence. But nowadays I have been noticing like it actually goes back all the way to like younger grades, and it can be as young as like a kindergartner. And this is definitely a big growing problem in terms of bullying, in terms of like mental health, and in terms of like eating disorders and whatnot. So I thought to make a video about what are the few mistakes that we as a parents make intentionally or unintentionally, and that passes on to our kids and hence towards the society. So to begin with, I would like to talk about the very first two basics. That is, number one, please do not talk negative about your own body in front of them. This sends them a message that anybody is up for body shaming you, and this also gives them the message that whatever other people are saying about your body, you should accept it. Like it's normal to get judged. So because if you do not respect your own body, first of all, like the child will start body shaming you, and eventually like the family members, and eventually it becomes like a vicious cycle. So my suggestion will be, try to stand in front of the mirror and talk positive about it. Like, this color really good, looks good on me. I feel happy, when I, do my hair. So very simple, but try intentionally not to talk negative about your own body in front of kids. Number two, teach them or refrain them from talking or commenting bad about other people's body. And it doesn't need to be related to the body at all. And my suggestion here will be to teach them how to compliment positively, like complimenting on their character trait, or complimenting on their t-shirt, or like, I like your new hair, or your t-shirt looks cool. So anything other than their body, like focusing more on the character trait, like you always help me with the groceries, you are strong, as simple as that. The third mistake we make is promoting our diet conversations in front of them. So this sends them a message that body weight has a lot to do with food. So my suggestion will be to disconnect any kind of conversation that is related to body weight with food. And instead you can actually stress on physical cues, like what satiety is, what fullness feels like versus what hunger feels like. And when we are hungry, we eat, and when we feel full, and we do not overeat, or those cues. Because sometimes it's not, maybe not the food, but just because we keep saying that I have to work out twice tomorrow because I ate like an extra piece of the cookie. This can really cause a lot of misconceptions in their brain from a very early age. Laughing at fat jokes. I know, like this is probably very common, and it's all over in media, and it's hard to control. But there is a saying called charity begins at home. If you can correct it at the birth stage in the home, there is less chance that they will go out and emulate the same kind of behavior outside. So there is theory that says that child develops emotionally all the way till like say adolescent. But the emotional intelligence of how to regulate your emotions comes only in their 20s. So kids at this age are not do not have the full ability to regulate themselves, and have the emotional intelligence to regulate themselves and overcome their anxieties if they get bullied, or with fat jokes or any kind of jokes related to their skin color or hair or eye color, anything. So instead you should stress on the fact that how diversity looks like, the concept of diversity. And diversity is the very truth. What is shown and presented to us is a very deformed and distorted form of beauty, or and define beauty. Like, it's nothing is perfect in this world, and perfection is not the reality. What is perfect is basically, what exists, that is diversity. And this will not only create tolerance, but they will know what to laugh at and what not to laugh at. So this is one mistake we often as parents, like, laugh at jokes, and it kind of watches, oh, they think it's okay to do so. Next mistake is we refer food as good or bad instead of healthy and non-healthy. So if we talk about the health benefits and why we are, eating that food, it makes them understand that, like, food has a lot to do with health. And health necessarily doesn't have to be, doesn't have to be always connected with like size or short, tall, like weight, overweight, chubby, etc. So this is one of the mistakes I have often seen. Like, kids kind of get confused because we as parents do not choose our words wisely. Next mistake is something I've observed, and it's not my personal experience though. And I'm sure, of you have, like, have personal reasons for it. Like, I have seen many parents differentiating between the siblings. Like, one sibling are not supposed to have some kind of snacks or dinner, and while the other siblings are allowed. Uh, this is mentally very, very, scarring. And it not only scars the child's childhood, but it causes a lot of anxiety, and it just does not work. It later on just leads on to a lot of eating disorders, and cheating on the diet. And like, I can bet these are the type of kids who's the day they're going to be out of the house, they will just end up eating whatever they wanted. um, yes, many of us has like mental and physical ailments, and allergies. Those things are definitely supposed to be addressed, but other than that, I would like you guys to suggest to form a uniform eating habit for all the kids. Like, do not differentiate between kids on the basis of their weight or height or skin color or any kind of discrimination, especially in terms of diet. This is really, really, like, bad, I would say bad and sickening kind of a thing that you can do to your child mental health. So I would be careful if I were you. The next mistake we make is very unintentional, and probably every one of us has made. We sometimes keep saying, like, I ate an ice cream, so I have to walk an extra mile tomorrow. Or I ate like an extra cookie, so I have to do 10 more reps of the exercise. I mean, like, first of all, that exercise and food has nothing to do with each other. They are like two separate things. What we are actually sending a message here to the kids is like, exercise is the punishment we give to ourselves for enjoying our ice cream or eating. I'm not saying, like, they don't help us to like lose weight or something, but kids who are not there yet with that emotional intelligence, they do not understand, and they think, like, see exercise as like a chore. Instead, you should promote that exercise is a way of our life to keep us fit, and we enjoy it. It can be much more pleasurable thing, and it can be anything from like a simple walk to bicycling to swimming. Things you can enjoy. Like, you do not have to just limit to one thing at one point of time. You can be varied about it. Next mistake we often make is like focusing on your own child's weight or height, or overthinking about their skin complexion or whatnot, like hair. We have, like, even like a simple nail. Kids do get conscious, and this like passes on to them, like, as if like becoming thin, or becoming like having that straight hair, or say becoming tall and strong is the only path of success. But instead, you should be promoting that success has a lot to do with character traits. Success has a lot to do with like how you represent yourself. Your thought process is what matters. So this is a very sometimes our like inner mom's body manifests into this kind of certain dialogues that we speak up. But intentionally, if you can cut on those, that will be really helpful for their emotional well-being later on. Another mistake we make is like we miss the point of seeing weight as a way of diversity rather than like societal stigma. This obviously has a lot coming from the, how we are brought up and the culture, etc. But if you can instead teach them that, weight is a character. It's not like, a, it's not a behavior. It does not represent your behavior. It's just a character. It's like, like you cannot choose your DNA. You cannot choose what eye color you have, what kind of hair you will have. Weight is the same thing. Or, your height, everything is related to your DNA. Like, no matter, sometimes you cannot alter your DNA, no matter, how much you, like, try, you cannot alter that. So acceptance of that emotion, that, yes, I am beautiful in my own way. And then, telling them repeatedly that, it's just a character. It does not define you as a whole. There is more to it. There are more important things in you, like the way you think, or, the things you wear, the way you behave, the way you, like, have are empathetic towards others. So highlighting the more important attributes of life, rather than just your characteristic or the physical characteristic of your body. And then the last point will be, healing the wounds of the already wounded kids. There are some kids who are probably already, wounded at some point. We tend to overlook as moms and parents, and, and it has a lot to do with, we don't often do not get, like, support of the dad, or, support from others. And that's okay, as long as somebody is watching over it and trying to heal it and trying to support, and assure them, like, they are beautiful in their own ways, and even minds can be beautiful. And once you heal them, then you give them the strength of regulating themselves emotionally when they again face this kind of discrimination, because this kind of discriminations are inevitable. They will often face it here and there. This has become so deep seated in the society. It's very hard to run away from it. So, and that's not even the solution. The solution is giving them the tools to prepare themselves and brace themselves and make themselves so much confident from inside that, any kind of like family background, religion, looks, status, like, finance, or even their physical, characteristics does not matter. Because the reality is, the other part of the grass will be always greener. If you have curly hair, you will be always looking for a straightener, and if you have straight hair, you will be always looking for a curler. This is the very basic human nature or human notion. So, but kids at this age do not often understand, and at teenage, with the hormones rushing in, and, the societal pressure and the peer like pressure, they get very confused. So they will need that support. So one message over all these 10 mistakes is just to give them the reality, is like, there is nothing called perfect. If and like perfect itself is a very imperfect word. There is nothing other than scores or numbers can be perfect. That's why, we have, abstract subjects like arts, history, where, nothing is perfect. We have different kinds of the way we see it. It's a perspective. So this ensures a lot of, shielding power later on from any kind of bullying, or, about their own body image, which in turn, protects them from a lot of anxiety, say, binge eating or eating disorders, and cheating on diet, and, seeing themselves and feeling like seeing themselves as, like, not beautiful, or, later on going into a depression, and then a spiral form, like going into a suicidal thoughts, and, apparently trying to change themselves desperately. So that's the end of our video. I'm sure if you follow half of these measures, you will be bringing up a really confident child with a healthy emotional health. And if you find these tips helpful, please like, share, and subscribe my channel, and help my channel to grow. Thank you. Bye bye.